The Cunning Squirrel and the Nutty Treasure. In a vibrant forest filled with towering oaks, rustling leaves, and the gentle murmur of a nearby stream, there lived a clever squirrel named Silas. Silas was known far and wide among the woodland creatures for his quick wits and nimble paws. His bushy tail waved like a banner of pride whenever he scampered about, always on the lookout for a chance to outsmart those who might try to claim the forest's treasures. One crisp autumn day, when the forest was painted in brilliant shades of gold and amber, Silas discovered a secret glade hidden beneath a curtain of ivy. There, gleaming in the soft sunlight, lay what the forest dwellers whispered about as the Nutty Treasure, a colossal cache of the rarest, most delicious acorns and walnuts ever seen. Legend had it that this treasure was guarded by nature itself, a gift left behind by the ancient spirits of the forest for those clever enough to find it. Overjoyed by his discovery, Silas quickly scurried about, carefully gathering as many of the nutty delights as he could carry. Yet, even as his heart danced with excitement, he knew that other animals in the forest would soon catch wind of his find. The thought of sharing his newfound wealth did not sit well with him. He prided himself on his cunning and desired to keep the treasure for himself. In the days that followed, Silas devised an ingenious plan. He constructed a series of winding tunnels beneath the glade, intricate passages that only a creature as swift and agile as he could navigate. Through these secret pathways, he stored his hoard, hidden from the prying eyes of the forest's inhabitants. Meanwhile, he continued to visit the glade, always pretending that the treasure was still there, so that any wandering animal might believe that the nutty bounty remained unclaimed. One day, as the cool breeze carried the scent of ripening nuts, a friendly but unsuspecting chipmunk named Chester chanced upon the glade. His eyes widened at the sight of the scattered nuts, and he excitedly called out to his friends. Soon, a small crowd gathered, each animal eager to share in the bounty. However, when they tried to collect the nuts, they found only a few stray pieces, none of the magnificent treasure Silas had hidden away. Confused and disappointed, the animals murmured among themselves, wondering what mysterious force had stolen the treasure. From the safety of his secret tunnels, Silas listened to the discontent of the gathering crowd. He felt a flicker of guilt amid his triumph, for he knew that many in the forest struggled to find enough food during the long winter months. As the chatter grew, he watched a wise old badger, known for her fairness and kindness, step forward. "Friends," she said in a soothing tone, "the forest has always provided enough for every creature if we share. Let us search together and see if there is any trace of the lost treasure." Her words touched something deep within Silas. That night, as the forest hushed under a velvet sky sprinkled with stars, Silas lay awake in his secret nook. He thought about the joy of the treasure, the pride of his cunning, and the sorrow that such greed might bring to his friends in need. In the quiet of the night, Silas realized that true cleverness wasn't in hoarding wealth for oneself but in finding a balance between ingenuity and generosity. At dawn, with a determined glint in his eyes, Silas emerged from his hidden tunnels. Gathering the courage to make amends, he led the way to the glade where the treasure once lay. With a few swift gestures and clever signals, he revealed the secret passages and directed his fellow animals to the hidden store of nuts and walnuts. One by one, the creatures of the forest marveled as they uncovered the bountiful treasure. Their eyes shone with gratitude, and laughter filled the glade as they celebrated the feast that would sustain them through the coming winter. Chester the chipmunk, now beaming with delight, scampered over to Silas and said, "Thank you, friend. Your clever mind has brought us great joy today." The wise badger nodded approvingly, adding, "Today you have learned that sharing your gifts can multiply their worth." The forest thrives when we all partake in its blessings. From that day forward, Silas the Cunning Squirrel was known not only for his sharp mind but also for his generous heart. He continued to use his wit to find new wonders in the forest, but he always remembered the lesson of the Nutty Treasure, that true wealth comes from sharing and caring for those around us. Moral of the story ***. The fable of the Cunning Squirrel and the Nutty Treasure reminds us that intelligence and ingenuity are most rewarding when paired with generosity. Greed may bring momentary triumph, but the greatest joy comes from sharing our blessings and working together to create a thriving, harmonious community.